Welcome to this week's video blog. For this week's video blog, I have a little book haul for you. Just showing off a few books that I picked up recently, and hope you guys enjoy. Let me know if you've read them, if you've enjoyed them. Again, no spoilers, and away we go. So the first one is Rebecca Paisley's Heartstrings, and it's a historical romance. No insert cover, but let's read the back. Wanted, tall, dark-haired, blue-eyed man to sire genius child, 100 cash in gold. Men flocked like honey, drawn by Theodosia, that's a name, Worth's intoxicating whiskey eyes, massive of golden hair, and her blatant ad. Theodosia had traveled west from Boston with a secret mission, to bear a baby for her childless sister in a strictly business affair. Books were her only passion until she hired a bodyguard who turned out to be a hands-on encyclopedia of love. Roman Montana galloped into town on his silver steed, only to be unseated by a parrot's angry squawk, and catapulted into a pile of steaming manure. The parrot's ravishing owner was Theodosia Worth, his new employer, a genius without an ounce of horse sense. The infuriating woman wanted him to post ads for a stud, then protect her from the lechers who applied. He tried to save her from herself, but how could he save himself from the thoroughbred filly who'd thrown him at first sight? So this looks like a lot of fun. So I look forward to reading this. Put that over there. Oh, Victoria Alexander. I love her. She does wonderful humorous historical romances. The Shocking Secret of a Guest at the Wedding. With the insert cover, but it's just a picture of a castle. But still, insert cover. I enjoy those. Let's see. The bride and groom cordially request your presence for a wedding at Millworth Manor. Guests will include Jackson Quincy Graham Channing. That's all one name. New York City banker and Lady Theodosia. Theodosia? I was just reading about you. Teddy Winslow, wedding planner to the finest families in England. Introductions shall be followed by light conversation, dancing, flirtation, arguing, reconciliation, and an impulsive kiss that both parties are quite certain they will never repeat until they do. A mutually beneficial fake engagement, I love those, will be accompanied by all manner of very real complications, scandalous revelations, nefarious schemes, and one inescapable conclusion, that true love, unlike the perfect wedding, is impossible to plan. I love her books. I love her books so much. They're romantic and sexy, but they have this thread of humor to them. Like, if you love Julia Quinn, you'll love Victoria Alexander. Yeah, so good. So looking forward to that a lot. The next one is Elizabeth Thornton's The Bride's Bodyguard. I think also historical, because I see a castle and a dude with like historical clothes with a pistol. Not sure if you can see that. And an insert cover. Oh, I'm happy. I love my insert covers. So let's see the blurb. The Bride's Bodyguard. With his striking good looks, Ross Trevennan was one of the most attractive men Tessa Lorimer words had ever seen. But 5 minutes in his company convinced her he was the most arrogant, infuriating man alive. Of course he was. That's why it was such a shock to discover Trevennan's true purpose, hired to escort her out of Paris and back to England. He had sworn that he'd do anything to keep her safe, even if he had to marry her to do it. Ooh, another marriage of convenience. Now, finding herself a bride to a devastatingly attractive bodyguard seems more hazardous than any other situation she could possibly encounter. Yet Tessa doesn't know that she holds the key to a mystery that Trevennan would sell his soul to solve, and a vicious murderer will kill to keep. So this has got a little romantic suspense vibe to it, which I don't really gravitate towards romantic suspense as a rule, but if the romance part of it is stronger than the suspense part, then I usually enjoy that. The next one is Helen Van Slyke? Psych? Hold on. Slyke. No Love Lost. And it's one of those glamorous saga type books that I adore. I know I've read her before, and I think it was a library book or two of hers that I've read, and that's why I don't have them on my keeper shelf, but I remember enjoying her stuff. So, for the men in Lindsay Thresher's life, money, luxury, and adoration were never enough. There was always another woman. Haunted by the secret in her father's life that led to her parents' divorce, the lovely Lindsay rushes headlong into a too-young marriage to dashing Jeff Murray. It is a union torn by conflict, yet Lindsay struggles to keep their passion alive during the war years. Then tragedy strikes the family, and the last frail bonds that unite husband and wife are ripped apart by scandalous liaisons and sordid affairs. In a shattering moment of revelation, Lindsay is able to discover the meaning of true loyalty and love. Oh, this sounds so soapy! I am here for it! So looking forward to that. The next one, oh, hang on, it's got a 25% sticker off on it, but I don't think I can get it off without, like, oh, hang on, yeah, I can. Oh, thank goodness. Okay. It was like covering her, half of herself. Lisa Kleypas's Devil's Daughter. And it has the insert cover, which I love. Thank you, dear historical romance book people. We like these. Keep them. Yeah, Lisa Kleypas's Devil's Daughter. Although beautiful young widow Phoebe, Lady Claire has never met. Wait, is her name Claire or is it Phoebe? Although beautiful young widow Phoebe, Lady Claire has never met West Ravenel. She knows one thing for certain. He's a mean, rotten bully. Back in boarding school, he made her late husband's life a misery, and she'll never forgive him for it. But when Phoebe attends a family wedding, she encounters a dashing and impossibly charming stranger who sends a fire and ice jolt of attraction through her. And then he introduces himself as none other than West Ravenel. Of course. West is a man with a tarnished past. No apologies, no excuses. However, from the moment he meets Phoebe, West is consumed by an irresistible desire, not to mention the bitter awareness that a woman like her is far out of his reach. What West doesn't bargain on is that Phoebe is no straight-laced aristocratic lady. She's the daughter of a strong-willed wallflower who long ago eloped with Sebastian, Lord St. Vincent, the most devilishly wicked rake in England. Before long, Phoebe sets out to seduce the man who has awakened her fiery nature and shown her unimaginable pleasure. Will their overwhelming passion be enough to overcome the obstacles of the past? Only the Devil's Daughter knows. So this is sort of a legacy romance, in that she's a legacy child of, was it Sophie and Sebastian? I don't remember. But, yeah, she's from the daughter from a previous book. So yeah, looking forward to that historical romance, if you couldn't tell. And the sticker was like covering like that, so I was like, oh, let me see if I can peel it off. Thankfully, I could. And the last book is another historical romance by Manda Collins, Why Dukes Say I Do. And does it have an insert? No, it doesn't. That's a shame. True love is often found. With her whirlwind social life in London, Lady Isabella Wharton has little interest in the customs of the country. But when her godmother asks her to pay a visit to her bachelor grandson in Yorkshire, Isabella can't refuse. It behooves her to please the old dowager, since she harbors one of Isabella's most scandalous secrets. So off she goes to see the newly titled and notoriously rustic Duke of Ormond. Trevor Carey doesn't care about what goes on behind ballroom doors. He's content with a simple life and isn't ashamed to admit it to a society flirt like Isabella. But the country air brings out a different side of Isabella, one full of longing and passion. Can her sophistication be hiding a desire for love? When a blackmailer from the city arrives to threaten Isabella, Trevor will shield her from harm, even travel to London. Can the Duke tackle the taunt on Isabella's behalf and managed to keep her all to himself. This seems really sweet. I'm looking forward to this very, very much. So that is a look at a few of the books that I picked up recently. Hope you enjoyed that. Like my Facebook page at facebook.com/authorejamie. Follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/authorejamie, and I will talk to you guys next time. Bye!